In this video, we'll be exploring unconventional tips that go beyond the surface level of minimalism. We'll be delving into the depths of the practice and revealing how it can be a catalyst for personal growth, social responsibility, and environmental sustainability. So buckle up and get ready for a ride that will change the way you think about living with less. Number 1. Rethink the meaning of minimalism. When we hear the word minimalism, we often think of white walls, empty spaces, and a stark, sterile aesthetic. But this is just one interpretation of a much richer and more complex philosophy. At its core, minimalism is about intentional living and mindful consumption. It's about recognizing the value of what we have and letting go of what no longer serves us. To truly embrace minimalism, we need to rethink what it means to live a rich and fulfilling life. We need to move beyond the notion that more is always better and instead focus on what truly brings us joy and purpose. This may mean prioritizing experiences over possessions, investing in high-quality items that will last a lifetime, or simply taking the time to appreciate the beauty and abundance that surrounds us. But perhaps most importantly, we need to recognize that minimalism is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a deeply personal and individualized practice that looks different for everyone. For some, minimalism may mean living in a tiny house with only a few possessions. For others, it may mean owning a large home filled with meaningful items that bring them joy. The key is to find what works for you and to approach minimalism with an open mind and a willingness to adapt and grow. Number 2. Consider the role of emotions in decluttering. Decluttering can be a challenging and emotional process, as we often attach sentimental value to our possessions and find it difficult to let go. It's important to acknowledge the role that emotions play in this process and to approach decluttering with compassion and understanding. One way to do this is to take a mindful and intentional approach to decluttering. This means taking the time to reflect on why certain items hold significance for us, and being honest about whether they truly bring us joy or serve a practical purpose. It also means giving ourselves permission to feel the full range of emotions that may arise during the process, whether it be nostalgia, sadness, or even guilt. Another key factor to consider is the environmental impact of our possessions. When we hold on to items out of a sense of obligation or sentimentality, we are not only taking up physical space, but also contributing to the larger problem of overconsumption and waste. By letting go of what no longer serves us, we can reduce our environmental footprint and make room for more meaningful experiences and relationships. Number 3. Adopt a growth mindset. Adopting a growth mindset is crucial to achieving success and fulfillment in any area of our lives, including minimalism. It means approaching challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than as fixed limitation. In the context of minimalism, a growth mindset can help us to cultivate resilience and adaptability. It allows us to view the process of decluttering and simplifying as an ongoing journey, rather than a one-time destination. It means recognizing that our values and needs may change over time and being open to adjusting our approach accordingly. One way to foster a growth mindset in minimalism is to focus on progress rather than perfection. This means celebrating the small victories and recognizing that every step towards a more intentional and mindful lifestyle is a step in the right direction. It also means being gentle and forgiving with ourselves when we inevitably stumble or make mistakes along the way. Another important aspect of a growth mindset in minimalism is creativity and innovation. It means thinking outside of the box and exploring new ways to incorporate minimalism into our lives. It means being open to trying new things and embracing experimentation, even if it means stepping outside of our comfort zones. Number 4. Connect with others. We'll get to that in a second. I have a favor to ask of you. If you like this video so far, please subscribe to the channel. Minimalism can sometimes be perceived as a solitary pursuit, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, connecting with others can be a powerful way to deepen our understanding of minimalism, gain new perspectives, and build a sense of community around this lifestyle. One way to connect with others in the context of minimalism is through social media and online communities. There are a multitude of platforms and groups dedicated to minimalism from Instagram accounts to Facebook groups to Reddit threads. These spaces can be a valuable source of inspiration, information, and support, allowing us to connect with like-minded individuals from all over the world. Another way to connect with others around minimalism is through in-person events and meetups. These can include everything from minimalist-themed book clubs and workshops to clothing swaps and neighborhood cleanups and neighborhood cleanup. By engaging in these activities, we can build relationships with others who share our values and interests and create opportunities for collaborative learning and growth. In addition to these formal avenues for connection, we can also make an effort to incorporate minimalism into our existing relationships. This might mean inviting friends or family members to join us in a decluttering session, or simply having conversations about the benefits and challenges of living a more intentional lifestyle. By sharing our experiences and insights with others, we can deepen our own understanding of minimalism and inspire those around us to embrace this way of life. Number 5. Focus on quality over quantity. In a world that often prioritizes accumulation and consumption, it can be easy to lose sight of the value of quality over quantity. However, when it comes to minimalism, focusing on quality can be a powerful way to cultivate a more intentional and fulfilling way of life. At its core, the principle of quality over quantity means valuing experiences, possessions, and relationships that bring true value and joy into our lives, rather than simply accumulating more for the sake of it. It means prioritizing the things that matter most to us and being mindful about the impact that our choices have on our well-being, the environment, and society at large. In the context of minimalism, focusing on quality over quantity can mean investing in high-quality, long-lasting possessions rather than cheap, disposable ones. It can mean prioritizing experiences and relationships that bring true meaning and connection, rather than filling our lives with shallow or fleeting pleasures. Of course, embracing quality over quantity is not always easy. It requires us to slow down, to question our assumptions, and to be willing to let go of things that do not serve us. It also requires us to be mindful about our choices and to take responsibility for the impact that those choices have on ourselves and the world around us. However, the rewards of embracing quality over quantity can be profound. By focusing on what truly matters to us, we can cultivate a sense of purpose, fulfillment, and connection that extends far beyond material possessions or fleeting pleasures. We can build a life that is grounded in intention, mindfulness, and joy, and leave behind the constant pressure to accumulate more and more. Number 6. Cultivate mindfulness and intentionality. Minimalism is more than just a way of living with less. It's also a way of cultivating mindfulness and intentionality in our daily lives. By intentionally choosing what we bring into our lives and letting go of what no longer serves us, we can create more space, time, and energy for the things that truly matter. At the heart of mindfulness and intentionality in minimalism is a willingness to slow down, reflect, and be present in the moment. It means taking the time to question our assumptions, to be honest with ourselves about our motivations, and to approach each decision with a sense of curiosity and openness. In practice, cultivating mindfulness and intentionality in minimalism can mean many different things. It might mean taking a mindful approach to decluttering, thoughtfully considering each possession and asking ourselves whether it truly aligns with our values and goals. It might mean being intentional about our consumption habits, seeking out sustainable and ethical products, and reducing our reliance on single-use items. Cultivating mindfulness and intentionality in minimalism can also mean embracing simple pleasures and experiences, and finding joy in the moments that might otherwise go unnoticed. It might mean taking a walk in nature, cooking a meal from scratch, or simply taking a few deep breaths and allowing ourselves to be fully present in the moment. Of course, cultivating mindfulness and intentionality in minimalism is not always easy. It requires us to be willing to let go of the distractions and pressures of modern life and to focus instead on what truly matters to us. But the rewards can be profound. A deeper sense of purpose, clarity, and connection to ourselves and the world around us. Number 7. Embrace creativity and innovation. Embracing minimalism is not just about living with less. It's also about embracing creativity and innovation. When we adopt a minimalist lifestyle, we are forced to find new and creative ways to use the resources we have, rather than relying on an endless cycle of consumption and waste. Minimalism can inspire us to experiment with new ideas, to repurpose items in unexpected ways, and to find beauty in the simple and the functional. By embracing creativity and innovation in our minimalist journey, we can discover new ways of living that are both sustainable and fulfilling. One way to embrace creativity and innovation in minimalism is to explore alternative ways of living. This might mean exploring alternative housing options such as tiny homes or experimenting with different forms of transportation like biking or public transit. It might also mean exploring alternative forms of work like freelancing or entrepreneurship that allow us to have more control over our time and resources. Another way to embrace creativity and innovation in minimalism is to adopt a DI mindset. Rather than relying on store-bought items, we can experiment with making our own products, from clothing to furniture to cleaning supplies. This not only reduces our reliance on consumer goods, but also allows us to tap into our creative potential and discover new talents and skills. Finally, embracing creativity and innovation in minimalism means staying open to new ideas and approaches. It means being willing to challenge our assumptions and experiment with new ways of doing things. By approaching our minimalist journey with a sense of curiosity and openness, we can discover new ways of living that are both sustainable and fulfilling. Number 8. Consider the role of privilege. As we embrace minimalism, it's important to consider the role of privilege in our journey. Minimalism is often portrayed as a lifestyle choice that anyone can make regardless of their background or financial situation. However, the reality is that not everyone has the same access to resources and opportunities that make it possible to live a minimalist lifestyle. Privilege comes in many forms. It can be based on factors like race, gender, socioeconomic status, and geography, among others. These factors can influence our ability to access resources, to make choices about how we live our lives, and to prioritize our values. For example, someone living in an urban area with access to public transportation may find it easier to adopt a minimalist lifestyle that doesn't rely on car ownership. However, someone living in a rural area without reliable public transportation may have no choice but to rely on a car, regardless of their environmental or minimalist ideals. Similarly, someone with a high income may have more flexibility in choosing to work less or pursue alternative forms of income, while someone with lower income may have fewer options and may be forced to work long hours just to make ends meet. Recognizing our own privilege can be uncomfortable, but it's an important step in building a more equitable and just world. It means acknowledging that our experiences are not universal and that our choices are shaped by a range of external factors that we may not even be aware of. As we navigate our minimalist journey, it's important to be mindful of the role of privilege and to work towards creating a more inclusive and accessible movement. This means listening to and learning from voices that may be different from our own, and using our privilege to amplify those voices and work towards a more just and equitable society. In conclusion, minimalism is not just a trend or a fad. It's a mindset and a way of life that can bring immense benefits to our physical, mental, and emotional well-being.